one of the most dangerous terms in English diction. If it could be translated into audio, it would sound like from the saxophone of Lisa Simpson, 2 words designed and strategically combined to form the biggest oxymoron in the history of mankind. Almost. But see, as far as this world's concerned, you could live your life foul and could almost get away with murder if you have a nice smile. You could almost meet folks just to almost sleep around and stop by at your local clinic where you almost have a child. But see, almost is no stranger to Satan. Here's proof. See, Satan only tells lies when they're almost the truth. And it's amazing. In our incompleteness, we find complacency, but if almost is one of Lucifer's many traits, then somehow we've inadvertently become good at Satan impersonations. But on the contrary, Christ did his job fully, and he proved he was God when he died on a cross like it was his duty, and to pardon my iniquities that I committed rudely, he resurrected from the grave just to tell death to excuse me, but excuse me. This is your life, and that's something I can't impose on. But your body is God's home, which wasn't loaned to get foreclosed on. See, an almost Christian looks right, but lives wrong. Can't stand the conviction in Romans, so they sit down to be comforted in Psalms. Never understood worship, but love to lift their hands and sing songs like, I surrender almost. Because it's far too expensive for you to spend your life on something that doesn't appeal to your 5 senses. See, nowadays, Christianity is like a Louis rag. No functional use, but we just rock it because it's stylish. Not righteous, but right-ish. So all God sees is a pile of Ishmaels when he intended for Isaacs. And we're moved by our emotions, so we're saved when we feel like it. So technically, we've never really been saved. We've merely tried it, so no wonder why we're never sold out when we return it after we buy it. Now, let me break it down because you need to beware. Our lives could lack the very standards that need to be there. Because on that final day of judgment, while God's receiving his heir, will he say, son, well done, or poor, medium rare. Now, even by worldly standards, it'd be highly insane for you to start spending all of your money days before you almost get paid. Like parents, you wouldn't send your kids to a school that's almost safe. And ladies, would you honestly date, get engaged to, and married to a man who claims he's almost straight? Now, this is the very thing about God. This is the very thing about God that we all try to get around. But his standards are like between 2 closely engrafted mountains. There is no middle ground. So a halfway life is not profitable to you. Because after all the Sunday services, Bible studies, and prayer meetings, God may say, I never knew you. That's not even the worst part of living your life as neutral, is that we were once Arctic, but it's the warmness that is causing him to spew you. See, this is exactly the type of mentality that had me. I was bound and held down by the unforgiving gravity of my spiritual reality. I was a Christian, or at least I portrayed the fantasy, with a filthy personal life, but a God bless you, brother. How you doing, sister? Personality. I was a male, enveloped by guilt because I was stamped a sinner. I said I was a male, enveloped by guilt because I was stamped a sinner. My message couldn't be received because I didn't represent the sender, yet I was almost delivered. Till that one day I totally, completely, and absolutely surrendered, took heed to Jesus Christ, who told me it was time for change. Now I'm no longer bound to sin, point blank off the chain. But you could ask Umar Abdul Muttalib, and he'll tell you the same, that you don't almost go to jail when you almost blow up a plane. Like we don't almost go to hell when we almost get saved. despise the cross that he was slain and thus the cause in which he came. But don't worry, I'm almost done. But before I leave this stage, we have all worked in sin and death was minimum wage. I said we've all worked in sin and death was minimum wage. But if it wasn't for Christ, we would have almost got paid.